My name's Natalie. Welcome to my kitchen. I've had what feels like a lifetime of interest in healthy eating. It's led me to the Western A Price Foundation, and my main focus now for eating is nutritional dense meals. Today I'd like to just share with you a recipe that many people have asked me to share, and that's my wraps that I make from old egg whites. Well, I say old egg whites, discarded egg whites. I find I accumulate egg whites left over from if we make ice cream, or baked custard is another favourite in our house, or often in the morning when I make my smoothie, I'm addicted to kefir, so I'll throw in an egg yolk, and then what do I do with the egg whites? Well, they just accumulate in the fridge, and then I end up with a pot of egg whites. And so I was thrilled to develop this recipe that uses them up, and everyone loves them. So so we'll demonstrate that today. Okay, so the first step is to remove the chair. So I'm not going to leave it. So because I'm working with an unknown quantity of egg whites that have just accumulated in my fridge, I work with ratios based on the weight of my egg whites. So I mix everything up in my Ninja. This is what I wanted to share, because let's face it, there's a million recipes out there for wraps. No one needs help with that. But I think this way of doing it in the Ninja works really well. So if I zero that and throw in my egg whites, I have today 175 grams. So what I do is for every 25 grams of egg white, I put in a tablespoon of flour. Your flour can pretty much be anything. I like buckwheat and tapioca, so I do a 50-50 mix of the two is my normal go-to, but honestly you could do anything. So 25s go into 175 by my reckoning 7 times. So I want 7 tablespoons of flour, and so that's 3.5 of buckwheat and 3.5 of tapioca. So I'm quickly going to put them in now. That's 3.5. And then the tapioca. Whoops. 3.5. I'm also going to throw in a pinch of salt. And you know at the bottom of your garlic pot, how you end up with all those little cloves? One of them is perfect for this. If I get rid of the shell, I am going to throw that in. And then we need some extra liquid. I would normally use milk. I don't actually have any milk today. I've also been known to use cream, yoghurt, water, anything works. Today I'm actually going to use kefir, but that's just because that's what I've had. And again, I come back to that original weight measurement, so there was 175 grams of egg whites. So probably about 80% I will put in my liquid. So 80% of 175 is roughly probably about 140, maybe 150. So again, it's very flexible, very forgiving. So I've zeroed that, so 140. Beautiful. That's great. Now I could just whiz this up and it would be perfect. Whiz it up and then cook it off and it would be fine. But I do find, because we're working with just the egg whites, they come out looking a little bit pale. And so I've come up with a few ways I can fix this, other than adding in egg yolks. So that would be an optional ingredient, would be a hint of turmeric. Right, throw that in. And then another ingredient that we've sort of evolved to really enjoy in these is just weeds from the garden. And so in the summer, you know, chickweed, cleavers, you know, you can just forage for whatever. We're in the middle of summer right now, so I don't have all those lovely spring weeds. So I've just grabbed some beetroot leaves, some vegetable spinach, and even I've got some flowering brassica, so I thought I might just throw that in. And so this, we chuck all this in and it just makes it fun. Again, this is optional, but we call these Shrek wraps, and they've been a huge hit. Cool, and now I can whisk that up. Ready to go. Okay, and now I just need to cook them off. I find for my frying pan, a quarter cup is a really good measure. Give this a go. Okay, so I flipped it a few times, it's looking good. Yeah, nice colour, the green hue's coming through. And then on to the next one. So that's those all cooked off. I ended up getting 6.5 wraps, that's the half. But the actual wrap, so that's those all cooked off. I ended up getting 6.5 wraps, that's the half. But the actual wraps themselves, they're just brilliant. They hold together so well. And I guess if you're ambitious and you used a bigger frying pan, you'd end up with a slightly bigger wrap. But I honestly find for little children's hands, that these, by the time you've got some filling in, are you know, they're really adequate. So there's a couple of other things I just wanted to mention. You don't actually have to use egg whites. If you want to make wraps and you don't have a stash of egg whites in the cupboard, you can actually just use eggs. And exactly the same method where you just you crack them into the blender or blender and weigh them, and then work with the same ratios. If you struggle with maths a bit, I'll put an actual recipe down in the comments, so you can go back to that if that's easier for you. So we're going to go away with something a bit sticky that holds them all together. So my go-to would be to make some guacamole, strain some yogurt, and put in some yogurt cheese, or what's the other one we do? Oh, mayonnaise is the other one. Yeah. And then, yeah, I just let my son get really creative with what he wants to put in. And so making the wraps actually takes a little bit of time, but then I don't have to worry about the filling because he can do that and he really enjoys that. So, yeah. So Sebastian, tell me what you have put into your wrap.
So firstly, I've put mayonnaise for the stack, I've put in cheese and carrot, both grated, some lettuce, and some cooked beef mince. And that's it. And I know it'll taste delicious.
Brilliant.